What is up? Welcome to another edition of SacTown Movie Buffs. Once again, I'm Pierre, and this is Jason. And today we are back reviewing a new film that is only streaming in theaters. I think most of the films we're actually watching recently are only in theaters, so there is something to be said about that. Because for a while I felt like everything was like streaming, and also in theaters or just streaming. So at least we're
Yeah,
starting to get
yeah.
back to where films are just only in theaters again, so that is nice. Maybe because it's summer and all the big blockbuster films are. So, but
Yeah, yeah.
the box office has still been somewhat dismal. I mean, obviously we have Maverick that made like $1 billion, but for the most part, it's been a little rough for a lot of the smaller indie films just haven't been able to catch fire. So
Including the one we're about to talk about.
yeah, which isn't necessarily an indie film, but definitely.
Now,
So,
but it was
well,
kind of a surprise low performer.
yeah, exactly. So I say without further ado, I say we get right into it. The film that we're referring to is actually going to be Lightyear. So I'm going to do my best to try to explain this because I guess apparently it's been very, very confusing for people, like what Lightyear is. So obviously, Lightyear is the story of Buzz Lightyear. So this is Buzz Lightyear, the character, and not the toy, is the best way that I can summarize this. So basically, Andy gets the Buzz Lightyear doll because of the character that he sees on TV or whatever case may be, or movie. And this is basically that movie, and that's supposed to be what it's based on. So there has been some flack because Lightyear in this film is actually voiced by Chris Evans versus Tim Allen, who normally voices Lightyear. So I know there's been a lot of complaints about that. It's been a lot of issues. There's another issue that's also got people's feathers all ruffled, which I'll get to in a second. But the biggest issue that I've heard is that they didn't use Tim Allen, and just another Hollywood thing that they're doing, and they're trying to edge out all the conservative actors out of Hollywood and things of that nature. So first and foremost, I just want to say that this is a completely different scenario. This is, like I said, this is Buzz Lightyear, the actual character, not Buzz Lightyear the toy. So that's the difference between the two films. The other thing that you need to keep in mind is that Tim Allen still works for Disney. He is still in the Disney fold. If they make another Toy Story film, Tim Allen will still voice Buzz Lightyear. So they're not done with that character, and there's more than likely going to be another Toy Story film at some point, I'm sure, because they make so much money. Other than this one, obviously, but because they make so much money, there's probably going to be another Toy Story, and I'm sure Tim Allen will do that voice. So this is the story of basically Buzz Lightyear, the character. So in this story, basically he's actually a space ranger, and they travel to basically unknown planets. So in this case, they travel to an unknown planet, and they basically get stuck in this planet. Him and his captain and the entire crew, they have like a crew on deck, kind of like in Aliens, where like the entire crew is like in hypersleep or something of that nature. So the entire crew are on deck, and they basically get marooned onto like this unknown planet. And Buzz is basically trying to get them off the planet. But in order to do that, he has to do like these test missions using like this, I don't know, whatever it is, some crystal or something of that nature, in order to get them off the planet. But every time that he does this, he basically does an orbit basically around the sun to come back to the planet again to see if it's actually going to work for like the hyperspeed. But every time he does this, it's been failing, and there's been a huge lapse in time. So basically, every time he does this, he basically goes like, it's like 4 years later before he comes back to the planet. For him, it's only a few seconds. So he's still young, but everybody else is getting older every time he comes back and does this over and over again. Don't want to go too much into the story, but basically at some point, he ends up encountering Zorg, who's obviously his big nemesis and things of that nature. And there's a whole story with that. And then it goes into another direction once Zorg comes into the play. And I don't want to go into the full story. I don't want to spoil it for you. But there have been a lot of controversy about this film. One, because obviously Chris Evans is in the title role. The other thing is that people have been getting on this film about is that there's a half second maybe of a lesbian kiss in the film, and that's not a spoiler because why would it be a spoiler? If I told you that there was a kiss in any film, it wouldn't be a spoiler. But it's been a big, I guess, issue for some people that are strongly against that. And obviously it's also Pride Month. But I don't understand what the big uproar is over. Like, that ruins the whole feeling for you. That ruins the entire movie for you, whether the movie's good or bad, and we'll get into that in a second. But for me, I just thought that both of those issues were super silly. One was that, because they use a different voice for Buzz Lightyear, and I explained the reasons why. And then two, because there was a half-second lesbian kiss in the film. Silly. Just both of them are so silly. I mean, it's nothing that anybody's not going to see on any show today. And they're like, oh, my kids, I can't take I'm like, any film that you guys watch with your kids at home, there's probably a lesbian kiss or a gay couple or something of that nature in today's society. You're just going to see it. There's no way that you're not going to see that kind of stuff. So I don't understand what the big issue is. It's just silly. It's just silliness, and I don't get it. The film itself, it's okay. So, I really, I really wanted to love this film because, I may have actually been a little easier on it than I may have been, but I really wanted to love the film just because there was just so much hate thrown at the film before it even came out. Because as soon as people got wind that they didn't use, Tim Allen's voice and that there was a half-second lesbian kiss, everybody pretty much panned the film immediately. So on IMDb and some of the other sites, people are going in and basically, giving it 1 stars and stuff like that. It didn't even see the film is what I've been hearing. So it's getting a lot of low grades just from the jump because people are already throwing a bunch of hate at it before they even saw it. I've seen the film and none of those issues bother me. The film itself is just okay, though. There's nothing great or spectacular about the film. It doesn't do anything amazing. It plays some other films that I've seen that where they're marooned on the planet with monsters and things of this nature. But of course, nothing serious or dangerous really happens because it's a kids' film. But it's okay film. I don't think you're going to be bored necessarily watching it, but it just doesn't do anything that makes it super memorable for me, I guess, if you will. So I liked it overall, but I didn't love it. Just my overall take. Your thoughts, Jason?
More or less the same. I don't want to get into either one of those controversies because they're not worth it, to be honest. Especially, the Chris Evans thing is a non-issue. Whatever, who cares? And the infamous kiss is not even really. You don't even see it, really. I
didn't even really notice it, to be honest with you. I guess I only partially noticed it because I had already heard about it before I saw the movie. But when it happened, I totally had forgotten that was it. It wasn't until after the movie was over that I started reflecting. And I was like, that's what everybody was up in arms about. That's what the uproar was about. But
that the fact that is such a big controversy in this day and age is embarrassing, and anybody who is stoking that controversy should be embarrassed. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, unfortunately, even though I love the concept of this movie, I think it's a cool concept, a cool kind of meta approach, and the years passing thing is a great story element that could really be milked for some really deep stuff. Even deep, Pixar has always been usually been good about working in some really deep material with, children's entertainment. Whether it's Up or WALL-E or Inside Out, those have some heavy stuff in them that's only gonna hit the adults, but it's still entertaining for kids. To me, the story in this one had that potential of being that way, but it's just not that good. I wasn't interested. That's all I can really say is that it's the first 30 minutes I thought had some potential, but then the last hour is pretty much all very, very generic space action, and the Zorg stuff just didn't work for me at all. And it's just it becomes a very, very generic space adventure after the first 30 minutes. And it's just like, I tuned it out, honestly. You know, by the time it was over, I was like, you know, mulling over my grocery list and stuff, you know. You know, I liked.
Yeah, and I didn't really like they, and I don't want to spoil it, but they. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I didn't like what they did with the Zorg either. So there was something about that too that it didn't quite make, and they never really explained it to me. So it was still a little confusing. I was still a little fuzzy exactly how that came to be, basically with Zorg. So so I didn't care for that angle either. So
yeah, me neither. Me neither. But I was tuned out by that point anyway. Really. You know, I did like the little cat robot, but that was really the only bright spot in the movie for me. So,
yeah,
as much as I wanted to, like you said, as much as I wanted to kind of be on its side, because you know, people were hating on it before it even came out for really stupid reasons. It's kind of like the same way as that Ghostbusters sequel, not the one that came out like last year. The one with Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig.
The all-girl Ghostbuster crew. Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to like that because people were so the backlash against it before it even came out was so misogynistic and stupid. I really wanted to be on its side, but it just also like this one, it just wasn't very good when I finally saw it. So, yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
Go figure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely go figure. Cool. Anything else you want to add about Lightyear?
Nope.
No. Okay. Overall grade and face you would give this one.
You know, it was pretty much a dud for me. So I gave it actually pretty low grade for me, which is a 2 out of 5. You know, C-, just kind of like that, which is what I look like watching him for the most part.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I was a little higher than you on this one. I went with a 2.5 out of 5. Maybe enjoyed it just a smidge more than you did. Like I said, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but it just, I don't know, just wasn't anything that I would probably watch again. You know, definitely not in the top, you know, Pixar films in my opinion. So definitely more towards the bottom. And Pixar usually gets it right, but I just feel like they just didn't get it right this time for various reasons. So, and I really wanted to like it. You know,
yeah,
and it was, because of all the hate that was being thrown at it before, you know, I really wanted to like it, but, you know, I just didn't love it. So I can't say much on it. And, you know, that's partially the reason probably why I did bomb also was not just because of those 2 issues that didn't help, but also the film just itself wasn't that spectacular. So, you know, the word of mouth of the people, you know, there weren't a whole lot of people that went in and watched it that didn't have any of those hangups before they saw it and went in and were like, oh my God, it was amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why people were, you know, no one I know that saw it, you know, had glowing reviews about it. You know, everybody, yeah, it was okay. You know, it was a film and some things happened and, you know, it was just okay.
It was definitely a movie. Yeah.
But in any event, it was definitely a movie. But as always, if you like the channel, we ask that you like, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification. You know, let us know your thoughts as well about Lightyear down in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And we'll be back again with another show for you guys again real soon. We thank you for watching and hope you have a great day. Bye.